The xenobiology lab at the Galactic Naval Academy hummed with the nervous energy of 24 cadets. Their varied chitinous plates, fur, and scales reflecting the sterile white lights overhead. Instructor Velthar, a towering Crithian with 4 compound eyes, gestured with one of his 6 limbs toward the reinforced containment unit at the center of the room. Today's practical examination involves the juvenile specimens of a Class 7 apex predator from the human homeworld, Velthar announced, his translator rendering his clicks and whistles into standard galactic. Earth, as you know, is classified as a death world. The creatures within are to be observed, not approached. Cadet Zixara, a promising young officer from the herbivorous Pelian species, leaned forward in her seat, her large ears twitching with anxiety. She had studied humans extensively since their recent admission to the Galactic Coalition, fascinated and terrified in equal measure by the Death Worlders who had somehow survived on a planet that seemed designed to kill its inhabitants. Behind the reinforced glass, 3 cubs rolled and tumbled over each other, creatures the humans called wolves. Even as juveniles, their teeth gleamed sharp enough to tear through standard-issue armor, and their golden eyes tracked every movement in the room with unsettling intelligence. Who would like to attempt the scan? Velthar asked, mandibles clicking with anticipation. No one volunteered. Zixara's competitive nature won over her caution. I will, instructor. She approached the containment unit with deliberate slowness, her datapad trembling slightly in her 3-fingered grip. The cubs' heads snapped toward her in unison and their playful demeanor evaporated. Lips curled back. Low growls resonated through the containment field. Zixara froze. Her prey species instincts screamed at her to run, to hide, to do anything but stand before these miniature killing machines. The growls escalated to sharp, aggressive snarls. One cub lunged at the barrier, and though the field held firm, Zixara stumbled backward with a yelp of terror. Interesting, Velthar noted, recording the reaction. The predators have identified Cadet Zixara's species as potential prey. Her pheromones likely triggered their hunting response. From the back of the room, a calm voice spoke. Permission to assist, instructor? Every head turned toward Cadet Sarah Chen, one of only 3 humans in the Academy's current enrollment. She sat with the relaxed posture that unnerved so many of her classmates, the posture of a species that had never known what it meant to be prey. Velthar's antennae twitched with curiosity. Granted, though I should warn you, Cadet Chen, even Death World species can be harmed by their own planet's predators. Sarah stood and walked to the containment unit with easy confidence. The cub's attention shifted immediately from the trembling Zixara to the approaching human. Their snarls continued, but there was something different in their tone, questioning rather than aggressive. Sarah knelt before the barrier, bringing herself to eye level with the largest cub. She said nothing at first, simply meeting its gaze with steady brown eyes. The laboratory fell silent except for the cub's growling. Then, in a voice that carried absolute authority despite its quietness, Sarah spoke a single word. Enough. The effect was instantaneous. The snarling ceased. 3 pairs of ears flicked forward. The largest cub sat, its tail giving a tentative wag. The others followed suit, their bodies relaxing from attack posture into something almost submissive. Zixara's jaw hung open in disbelief. Around the room, cadets from a dozen species exchanged shocked glances. Open the containment field, Sarah said calmly. Cadet Chen, I cannot authorize, Velthar began. Instructor, these are 6-month-old wolf pups. They're scared, overstimulated, and responding to threat displays from species they've never encountered. They need reassurance, not isolation. Sarah's voice carried the kind of confidence that came from a lifetime of understanding predators, because her species was one. Trust me. After a moment's hesitation, Velthar deactivated the barrier. The cubs bounded toward Sarah and half the class scrambled backward in panic. But instead of attacking, the 3 predators circled the human once, sniffing carefully, then sat at her feet. The largest rested its head against her knee. Sarah's hand moved to scratch behind its ears and the cub's tail began wagging enthusiastically. My species co-evolved with wolves, Sarah explained, addressing the stunned class while continuing to pet the cubs. 15,000 years ago, we formed a partnership. They helped us hunt. We shared our food and fire. Over millennia, we became family. They changed from wild hunters into companions who would die to protect us. We call them dogs now. She looked up at Zixara, who still stood frozen several meters away. On Earth, most homes have a predator living inside, sleeping on the furniture, playing with our children. These cubs recognize something in me. The scent, the body language, the authority. I'm not prey. I'm pack. The smallest cub rolled onto its back, exposing its vulnerable belly to Sarah in a display of trust. She obliged with a gentle belly rub, and the cub's tongue lolled out in contentment. Felthar's translator remained silent for a long moment, as he processed what he was witnessing. Finally, he spoke. In all my years teaching xenobiology, I have never seen a species display such innate understanding of another world's apex predators. Sarah smiled. Instructor on Earth, being an apex predator was just the beginning. We didn't just survive our world, we befriended it. Even the things that could kill us. She stood, and the 3 cubs stood with her, flanking her like an honor guard. That's what makes us human. As she walked back to her seat with the cubs trotting contentedly beside her, Zixara understood something profound. Humans hadn't conquered their death world through strength alone. They had done it through an ability that no other species in the galaxy had mastered. The ability to turn a planet full of killers into a planet full of family. The predator cubs curled up at Sarah's feet, and the human returned to taking notes as if commanding the loyalty of savage beasts was the most natural thing in the universe. For humans, perhaps it was.